Well, yes, indeed, still keeping tabs on the Electoral Reform Committee, but yes, as well as getting response from INEC. But perhaps, let me just get this in, Mark, before you go ahead. If Mr. Osaze Uzi can tell us the latest information about that particular police report, because he did say when, at the end of the day, if they look at the report. So, Mr. Uzi, have you looked at the report, and what is the latest now?
Yes, thank you very much. The latest is that yesterday the commission did meet and was informed that the administrative panel was set up to look into the issues, because at the time of the initial police report, we did not have a copy of that report. It took us quite a while to get a copy of that report. The Special Investigation Panel submitted its report to the IG, and we watched it on channels and other stations that this report had been submitted. But I guess the police authorities also had to study that report before they eventually passed it on to us. But now an administrative panel has been set up by the commission. It was passed on to us for our information. And we looked at it and said, look, there are certain infractions here, if proven correct, will amount to dereliction of duty, and also an infraction of the rules and conditions of service of the staff, in which case we'll look at them and deal with that administratively. We've also assured the police that, as they have told us that they will prosecute those found culpable, I think the report is probably to be sent to either the police or the Attorney General of the Federation. We will cooperate with that, and if there's anything that we have to do, we will do. But administratively, that is being looked into, and at the next meeting of the commission, they will look further into it if the report is ready by the administrative panel, the report of the administrative panel. Okay,
because I'm also reading something that said that INEC released a damning report about the December 10, 2016 rerun elections in Rivers, and that you did indict the police for compromising the integrity of the elections. Is that correct? What can you tell us about that?
Yes, we did set up an administrative panel to look into all issues concerning INEC in that election. I will not call it a damning report. It was a report, an ordinary report of an administrative panel. And it indicted several people, including particular officials of security agencies, not just the police. We have video evidence. We have the panel found evidence of unprofessional conduct by certain officials. They found protocol of INEC officials, of security officials, of different people who played inglorious roles in that election and somehow disrupted the election. It was also, in one sense, self-indicting. It indicted INEC itself and our processes. For example, we talked about the late release of funds and the disconnect between the state office and some local government offices. So you have to look at the totality of that report. It also commended several people. It commended some staff. It commended some youth corpus, so members of the National Youth Service who served us very, very diligently, and commended the police, the DPO, very, very much so. It's a balanced report, I think. It showed everything, the whole gamut. But it will appear some people are concentrating more on certain aspects of that report. But it was if you look at the report holistically, it laid blame where it should lie, and it apportioned blame, and it also commended the good efforts and professionalism of certain people, including some security agencies and some officers of the Nigeria Police Force.
Looking at the many sides that your report has been able to bring forward, what then will be next? One will want to ask. What then is next now that you've come up with those conclusions?
Well, first of all, our staff who have been indicted, who have breached their oaths of neutrality, their oaths of duty, the staff who have breached their conditions of service will be dealt with administratively. That is within our own purview. And if we're called upon, as I expect we will be called upon, if some of those staff are to be prosecuted, then INEC will collaborate and cooperate with the police in ensuring that there's a fair prosecution of those, and anybody found guilty will face the consequences of the law. Internally, we've set up, yesterday we announced, for example, that there's an overhaul of the INEC in River State, the INEC office in River State. Complete overhaul of that office. All directing staff, all senior management staff have been redeployed to various positions. And if any of them has been indicted in that report will also look at that. So that's the first step towards that. So already we are trying to implement aspects, because the Commission in its meeting last week accepted the report in its totality, and we're doing all we can. And if the other agencies and officials will refer to the police, for example, those who were commended will refer the reports to the police, and those who we think should be further investigated if there's any criminal breach, the police, we expect the police also to deal with such officials of their own agency. And we also, as a follow-up between the two reports, the police special investigation report and the INEC report, we think all those who receive money should be charged to court and let them have their day in court.
They haven't been charged?
Not to the best of our knowledge, no. They haven't been charged.
Who's going to charge them?
The police or the Attorney General's office.
Okay.
So it's not for INEC. INEC cannot charge them. If there were offences under the Electoral Act, then the police will submit its report to INEC with the case files for INEC to charge, but the police hasn't done that. So I believe that the findings will be breaches of the criminal code, in which case that is within the purview of the police and its
So the people accused or indicted, are they still within the employ of INEC?
Yes, those accused are within the employ of INEC. Yes, they are.
No action has been taken against them?
They are on bail. For now, we don't know what the police are doing. They've not told us officially that's when they are going to charge them to court.
Well, we'll take a moment now. When we return, we'll take a more holistic look or comprehensive look at the issues arising. Do join us again.